So 2023 is here and it's time to get ready for our races. We've got a huge year this year with lots of races. We're doing, between us, 6 A races to qualify for the World Champs, and in total 7 A races. We'll tell you what they are. So we are covering a lot of Australia, doing a lot of driving. So first up, in February, we're heading down from Brisbane down to Huskisson, and we're actually going via Thredbo because we're going to work at a mountain bike festival. So we're going to bring you a video on that. That'll be really cool. And then we're going to Huskisson, and then 2 weeks later I've got another race in Adelaide. So we need to drive from Huskisson to Adelaide, and then we're coming back to Brisbane. So we'll be back in Brisbane by the end of March. Then it's yours.
My turn? I'm talking? Is that what that means? Right.
Your race next.
My first race is really easy. We've got to drive about 70 something K from home to the Sunshine Coast from Brisbane, because I'm qualifying for the off-road triathlon. So the first qualifying race is on the Sunshine Coast. So that's a nice easy trip, about 150 K return trip.
Next up, we actually have a couple of months off, I think. April, May, June,
That's me
July,
again.
August. Yeah, back to...
So that race is in April, the one I'm doing in the Sunshine Coast. The next race actually is in Townsville. Now Townsville's just shy of 1400 K from Brisbane, from home. So that is actually the Australian Championships. So top 5 there automatically qualify. So I'm hoping to get in the top 5. So that's the next trip. Plus, when we're up there, we actually go up to Cairns and everything for my work. So it's not just to Townsville. We keep going a bit further. So that whole trip will be 4,000 K plus.
And then straight from there, 2 weeks later.
Oh, then that's right. 2 weeks later is another one down in Port Stephens, which is just north of Sydney. Actually north of Newcastle, so another qualifying event, the Trex race. So 2 weeks after, is that 2 weeks later?
Yes.
So we're going to be in Townsville, and then 2 weeks later we're going to be down in Port Stephens. So that's like, oh shit, that's 2,000 K, probably more.
Yes. Yeah, so that's August, and September is the Port Stephens one, and then in October it's back to me, and we're heading down to Maitland for another long course triathlon. So that will be down to Maitland in New South Wales, and then back to Brisbane.
And then I've got the next Trex race again on the Sunshine Coast in October.
Yes.
There's 2 per year of this particular event, which is awesome because it's close for us.
So that's all of our qualifying events.
Yes.
And then we actually are going to Busselton. So we're driving over to Busselton, which is a huge drive. So from Brisbane over to Busselton for Ironman. So I'm doing my 2nd ever Ironman in Busselton, Western Australia, next year in December. This year in December.
If you don't know how big Australia is, grab a map. It's like driving.
Well,
it's
you'll
about,
see the maps.
I think it's about 5,500 K from Brisbane to Perth, 2 furthest parts of Australia. So
And that's one way. We have to come back.
then come back.
But there is a possibility of another race for you.
Yes, in November in Victoria. So we don't know, that's not official yet, but could be doing that too.
So there are qualifying races. We are also doing other races as well. So there's a couple of bike races and running races that we're also doing. And then we're also traveling for work. So there's a whole lot of extra kilometers that we'll be doing. So it's going to be a big year, lots of travel, lots of van life, lots of racing. So I hope you'll want to stick around and join us for an exciting year.
I reckon 70 to 80,000 kilometres this year in the van. So better keep it serviced.
Thanks for traveling with us and racing with us and all the rest of it.